How's it going, everybody? It's Quinn, and if you're a Raptors fan, it's not going too great. We have lost another important game against the Phoenix Suns. We definitely need to pick this game up if we're wanting to go on a good run here on this Western Conference trip. If we don't go on a good run here, we're going to have a problem. Next games are the Kings and the Warriors. Then there's one more which I can't remember. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's going to be an important 4 games or 3 games, whatever it is. Lose to the Suns by like 8 points. It was a good game, though. Pascal scores 32. Lowry scores 25. Van Vliet, 13. It was a rough game for Van Vliet, but Pascal carried it enough that we were all right. It's so nice to see Pascal Siakam back playing good for this Toronto Raptors team. If Pascal doesn't start playing well, we're not going to make the playoffs. We need a full team effort to make the playoffs here. What the heck happened to Baynes? I thought this guy was going to be our starting caliber center. Baynes doesn't know how to play the game of basketball, for goodness sake. He sits in the paint, can't get a rebound, makes turnovers, hits 1 3 a game, and maybe gets 0 points. He's been terrible. This team needs a trade. I don't even know what to say about the bench. The bench has been horrendous. We won't play Davis or Matt Thomas because their defense is so bad, which I don't really see, but I'm not a coach, so I'm not really sure. Yes, they make some mistakes, but is Matt Thomas's defense really that bad that he's not even playable at this point? Definitely not. He's like our team's best 3-point shooter, and he's not even playing when we need the offense, when we're down by 10 or 20 points. When we need Matt Thomas and Terrence Davis on the floor, they are not even playing. Like, that's ridiculous. Our 2 best offensive guys should be getting bench minutes. Stanley Johnson and Yuta Wannabe should not be getting any minutes other than bench or other than garbage time. That's the only time I want to see Stanley Johnson, Yuta Wannabe, and Patrick McCaw even when he comes back. And all those bench garbage guys, I don't want to see. Preferably we're winning, but we should be winning if we start putting in a regular roster and not changing it up every game. The starters are being played way too much. Look at every other team. They run a full bench with maybe 1 starter. We're running all of our starters with 1 bench player, and all of our starters are tired. That's a problem. We can't just keep running every single starter on the team every single minute of the game. Pascal played 38 minutes. Lowry played 38 minutes. In the playoffs, they played like 46. Lowry leads the league in minutes per game. It's ridiculous. He should not be getting that many minutes. Next up, the Kings. If we don't beat the Kings, 1-7 is staring us right in the face. And if we do not beat the Kings, we have serious problems. And it's going to take a long time to fight back from a 1-7 start. Currently, we're 1-6, and we still have a fighting chance of making playoffs. But if we cannot beat either the Kings or the Warriors, we're screwed. I'm saying it now, we're not making playoffs if we don't beat one of the Kings or Warriors. And, adding the Hornets. We've got a back-to-back against the Hornets coming up. If we don't win one of those games, but we beat them twice in preseason, I've got no clue what's going on. No clue. Because end of January, start of February is rough. We faced Milwaukee like 3 times, Miami like 4 times. We face good teams. We played Philly a few times, who's the best team in the league right now, just in front of the Suns. We are playing great teams in February. We need to get off to this good start here and go into the playoffs now strong. It's a shortened season, so we don't have these 10 games to waste getting the team back together and dealing with our locker room problems. Lowry said we have locker room problems. Nick Nurse mentioned that the locker room's not great. We have problems. I'm not sure if everybody sees it yet, but it's the truth. Terrible locker room problems that nobody knows how to fix right now, and I thought Lowry would be a dog and be able to fix it. Malachi coming in, all these new guys are tearing down the chemistry of the Raptors that we've built up so high in Toronto that now used to be here and now it's down here. Like, I don't even know what we can do about that without making a trade. Get a guy that the Raptors players want to play with, not Stanley Johnson, Aaron Baynes, and Alex Len. Like, Alex Len is playing better than Baynes. Why isn't he playing more? Well, he is playing more than Baynes, which I'm happy with, because Baynes is terrible right now. He had the first 2 decent games, and he's been absolutely garbage in these past few. Literally has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to help this team. And talking about the guys to help this team that we need, my options are Harden, Beal, or Levine. Harden's a superstar. We all know he fits in perfectly on every single team pretty much, other than a few. Every team wants him. But now with Pascal coming back to being a decent player and hitting that 30 point per game, if he can get back up there after this 7th game of the season against the Suns, which he always plays well against the Suns, which is good, but we need him to continue this progression and not be mild Siakam anymore. We need the spicy P now, not the mild P. We need spicy P back in the Raptors jersey, playing well. But if we're trading him for Harden, I'm not complaining, other than that makes our rebounds absolutely terrible. Unless we bring a guy like Christian Wood for Baynes, Powell, and all of these guys. We have to give up an absolute bag to get both these. If we're trying to get Christian Wood from that too, which I'm not sure they'd accept, because Christian Wood's gained like 34 points per game. Or not per game, he did it a few times, which is absolutely ridiculous. And Beal is on a bad team with Westbrook, and the Wizards have kind of seemed like they're blowing things up, making good moves though, getting Westbrook over Wall, where Wall wasn't playing well. But I think Beal's asking price would be too much of him not requesting a trade yet. But then again, they're on a bad team, and if they're trying to hit the restart button and start from brand new with Roy Hachimura and their rookie, I don't know who the rookie is. They drafted someone, I think, but I'm not sure if it's known in my head right now. And then Levine. Levine, I think, is the most likely pickup for this Raptors team right now. If we can send Powell, Baynes, Flynn, and Davis over there for Levine and Markkanen, I think both sides are doing that. They get the shooting from Davis. They are getting Powell and Boucher. Yeah, we have to give up Boucher for that. And we're getting Boucher. We may have to give them even a pick, but then again, we may not, because it's the Bulls, and the Bulls are garbage. So I don't see why the Bulls need picks, but that's probably what they'll want if they're trading away their star players. Though Markkanen's young, we may not get him out of that trade. But then, if we're not getting Markkanen, I'm not giving them Boucher or that pick, because Levine's just not worth that much. And next, they're rebounding. We've got no rebounding. We've got no one to grab the boards after James Harden bricks a 3 or Trae Young bricks a 3. Baynes can't grab it. OG's small. Pascal's usually on the wing guarding the small or the power forwards who can hit the 3 ball. VanVleet and Lowry have had the most rebounds because they're dogs. And that's how they're getting them. So Drummond and Bagley seem like a fair thing for the Raptors to pick up, because we need rebounds, and literally that's all Drummond can do. But who would you rather have, Drummond or Baynes? Or Drummond or Boucher? I think every one of us is taking Drummond over Boucher or Baynes or Alex Line. I don't care your opinion on Drummond, if he's good or bad. If he's just there to grab 15 rebounds a game, I'll take it. And whatever he puts on the offensive side is a plus at this point. And then, I think that's going to wrap up that. No, we still have Bagley. Bagley is just a great fit, I think, for the team. Rebounding center who can get himself a bucket, who's still super young. He can be added to that young core that we're trying to build here in Toronto, going through a rebuild without a rebuild pretty much after getting Pascal and Van Vliet. So we've basically done our rebuilding. Now we just need this team to play well together. But the problem is I can see Lowry getting traded. If at All-Star break, at the trade deadline, if we don't have a winning record or we're not in a playoff spot, I can see a lot of teams calling up the Raptors and asking for Kyle Lowry because he's just a good player. And he's a dog, as I've mentioned many times, and teams and players want Kyle Lowry to be on their team. They don't want to play against him, they want to play with him because he's just that good at doing the small things, and he can get you a bucket when Kyle Lowry wants a bucket. He carried us back in this Suns game, which we sadly lost by, which was absolutely ridiculous that we lost to the Suns and let them hit 23s. They shot 20 for 40 from the three-point line. They had a higher three-point percentage than we did field goal percentage, I'm pretty sure. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's enough on the Raptors game. It's been about 12 minutes talking about the Raptors if you're still here. I just want to say it's terrible to hear about Markelle Fultz. I know this is a Raptors game analyzation, but it's sad to see Markelle Fultz go down like that. He's just such a good player. I like Markelle, number one, just because nobody likes him. It's kind of why I like Van Vliet. Oh, Lance Stevenson just got signed up to the G League. I'm not sure what team, but it just popped up on my screen. That's interesting. I want to see the guitar again from Lance. But yeah, Markelle Fultz goes down with an ACL tear. It's terrible to hear that about Markelle Fultz. He struggled with injuries his whole damn career. He cannot catch a break. He was starting to come into his own this year and may have even been a most improved player candidate. But no, his injury problems will just keep getting the worst of him. Hopefully he can come back after this ACL tear and tear up the league and end this terrible injury battle he's been having the past few years. But I just wanted to speak on that at the end of this video because it's not the main point of this video, but it needed to be spoke on. So, I'm not sure if I'm coming back to YouTube here, but maybe I may try and do Raptors things more and real basketball things more than sitting playing 2K that every single person does. Thanks for watching, guys.